This is still an active scene as Marion County Sheriff's deputies continue their homicide investigation. Now you can see a car parked alongside this trailer home and kids' toys are scattered outside. Not much has changed in the past couple hours here. Now this is Northwest 35th Way near Northwest 16th Boulevard in Gainesville. I do want to step aside so you can take a look behind me. There is a sheriff's deputy blocking off this road, and Gainesville Fire Rescue actually just pulled up a few minutes ago. People usually sit here to watch concerts, but Heartwood Soundstage leaders say if they don't receive more funding, they may have to downsize or even close down this area. There's a proposal to turn this 100,000 square foot warehouse into an ICE detention facility, but residents here in Bradford County say they don't want it. Robert, what we know so far is one person was transported to the hospitals. Like you said, I am here in Dunellen. We are near Rainbow River. A little after 7 o'clock tonight, they got a call that a tree had fallen into a home. I'm going to step aside so you can see the tree behind me. The 41st annual Wild Game Feast had something for everyone, whether it's a vegetarian option or, of course, the meat option. Dan Randall lives right there, and if you walk just feet away, you'll find the Forest Meadows Funeral Home and the crematorium unit. Well, the owner wants to get this back up and running by January 1st. As the guilty verdict was read, Waymore Gerhardt showed no emotion. And then during sentencing, he chose to speak against advice from his lawyers. Marion County Sheriff's deputies are confirming that 17-year-old Caden Spate was shot. And as you can see behind me, this is a very active scene, so I am going to step out of the way and try and zoom in just so you can take a better look. Now, Caden's work truck is over here. Caden Spate put his own blood inside of a Gatorade bottle to help him spread it around the driver's side of a truck and outside in the sand, which is what investigators thought was the scene of a kidnapping. 17-year-old Caden Spate walking into jail on crutches, accused of creating an elaborate story which led to an Amber Alert at the end of September.
My first reaction was more sympathy towards the kid. Of course, the cliche prayers go out, I hope he gets home safe, and then casted prayers about my own family because the event that transpired there, it's like you don't want nobody to really go through that.
To make the story believable, investigators say he shot himself in the leg with his dad's gun, shattering his femur. But that's not all. I was at this scene on Southwest Highway 484 in Dunellen the night the alert was sent out, and investigators spent hours examining a Chevy truck registered to his dad. Spade originally sent a text message to his parents which said, quote, "I need help, being shot at, 4 Hispanics, armed, white van, 1 driver, I'm hit."
Just analyzing, like the 4 Hispanics that were in the detail, since that's completely a hoax, it draws a different narrative where it's like almost from sympathy to okay, now I need to be cautious of the people I get encountered with.
Investigators later learned Spate purchased a mountain bike, sleeping bag, tent, backpack, and pillow with cash from a Walmart before sending the text to his parents. The arrest report details how Spate used ChatGPT, an AI program, to learn about collecting blood without pain and Mexican cartels, all to try and make investigators believe his story.
Just that minuscule amount of thought and creativity, you could definitely evolve into something more sociopathic or psychopathic.
Resident Cody Najee is a father and former EMT. He says he wholeheartedly agrees with the decision to arrest him, saying justice needs to be served because Spate broke the law. The day after the Amber Alert, Spate was found in Williston with his dad's gun. And while multiple agencies use their resources to help MCSO, including the FBI, FDLE, and FWC, it is still unclear what Spate's motive is. The owner of Pizzazz Piercing and Tattoo tells me this downtown building is haunted. She says she and her employees have had encounters with what she says is a ghost on and off for years. But this doesn't just happen during business hours.
So then we started to go back to talking, and we heard footsteps up to my desk. And heard it again, aimed at me, clear as day.
Ghost encounters on and off since 2020. That's what Kimberly Bussey says is happening here at Pizzazz Piercing and Tattoo.
All of a sudden, the energy in the room just changed. It shifted.
And then we heard a woman's voice that sounded like... And so I looked at Dennis and I said, "Is anybody here?" And he said, "No, no one's here." So I was like, all right, that's weird.
This is a ghost they call Diva. The name? Well, that's because Bussy says this ghost brings no bad vibes and doesn't disturb them daily.
Having these experiences is not scary. It's more kind of fun in a way. And it's a fun thing to kind of put out there, especially for the season.
And it's not just hearing footsteps, it's buttons being pressed too.
And he called me frantically at about 3 o'clock in the morning saying that he saw me here, saw me walk into the bathroom and heard the door shut.
The store first opened in 2019, but it wasn't until it closed during the COVID-19 pandemic that these experiences started. Her husband being the first to have an encounter while doing renovations.
I was half asleep and I was like, well, I'm not there, I'm home. And that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, I'm coming home now.
And Bussy's artists almost all had an experience at some point, with some saying it's creepy.
I believe in aliens, I believe in ghosts, the whole 9 yards. It definitely came out of nowhere, and it was just us two in the shop. It was empty. It made me feel unsafe.
In the 1900s, this building used to be a furniture store, but the owners say they have no idea why it's haunted. But for now, they say they'll continue to embrace it, especially during Halloween.